Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome, Brianna Dawson. Welcome
Yeah.
to Walk in Them Shoes YouTube channel. I am the host of this wonderful organization, Walk in Them Shoes. I am the founder, creator, content creator, motivational, inspirational speaker. Founded this Sister Circle social show. We are welcoming you in here today. Thank you so much for joining us. To each and every one of you who are on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you are joining us from, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for deciding to take a few moments out of your schedule today to join us here because I'm sure you will be blessed. Our topic on today is actually anxiety and depression. I didn't even have to do any research on this hardly. I normally like to give some sort of statistics or something to correlate with this, but definitely don't have to because I think it's something that the majority has either felt, dealt with, or been diagnosed with in some sort of way. Um, just going to take a look and see. We don't have anyone that has joined us just yet, but yet it is still fresh and early. But we're going to dive in either way. Were you able, Brianna, to share the link with anyone? If you want.
Yeah. So I shared the link on my Instagram, my Facebook, and on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm sure people will probably trickle in, and if not, I'm sure they will catch the replay, um, which is good. And I can tell you that normally after doing these interviews, I get texts, I get messages of people asking whatever services, whatever topic we discuss, wanting more information, and that sometimes lead to me either sharing your social media contacts or your website or whatever information you like to share. So it is really a good thing that you're here. So
Thank
with all
you.
that being said, um, I'm going to introduce you, Brianna, but I always allow the guests to introduce themselves because no one can introduce you better than you. And again, welcome to our episode of Sister Circle Social Show. It is a tongue twister, I'm telling you, but it's a platform that has been amazing thus far to many women. And I'm looking to reach and I mean, women all around the world. And this platform actually is for women. We do a lot of coaching, mentoring, empowering, inspiring women. That's our focus. But we tend to have a few men that drift in and
Yeah.
uh, join us and kind of, um, inspired, looking to get inspired as well. So
Yeah.
I have here Brianna Dawson. And this was a this I'm gonna tell you when I read when I asked for your introduction when I asked that how do you I normally always ask your name and your title because some of us may just say Brianna Dawson, a nurse practitioner, but there's so much more to you than just a nurse practitioner. I read MSN Brianna Dawson, MSN PMHNP hyphen BC.
Yes.
I know Masters of Science. I know and I'm gonna try to go off the top of my head without looking at any jotted notes. Um, why'd I put myself on the spot? Psychiatric PM, um, psychiatric mental. No, I'm not going to do that to myself.
Yeah. You were.
Psych-
You had it.
okay, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and I want to say that it's no way in the world that you can be all of this sitting here with a smile on your face. And the reason why I'm saying that is, and it's nothing but God, I know I already see in you. I just hear it in your spirit when speaking to you, when I spoke to you on the phone. But when I looked at your name and saw MSN, I saw all these letters thereafter. Hold on, I think we have some comments here. Someone has joined us. Yes. We have the lovely ladies from Facebook. And ladies, if you can chat, if you can just drop your name in the chat so that way I can acknowledge you. Because for whatever reason, your girl, even Lady Dara, has yet to go over to Facebook and connect her StreamYard the way that it is supposed to be so your names can populate. And I will get on that. So we do have his hands daycare. Yes. Hello, 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 ladies. Come on in. So we have Brianna Dawson, MSN PMHNP BC, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And ladies, y'all in for a treat this evening. So sit back. I always ask people to come and just sit back and, drop some questions in the chat if you have it. But otherwise, just enjoy this candid conversation because I'm sure you will be blessed. She is a board certified nurse practitioner specializing in um, specializing in psychiatric mental health, something that a lot of people are afraid of talking about.
Yeah.
So, Brianna, would you like to,
Yeah, I'll introduce myself.
I'm sorry, give us a candid snapshot of yourself and who you are and introducing yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Brianna. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. I specialize in perinatal mental health, which means I treat women who have anxiety, depression, mood disorders, who are pregnant and postpartum. I also treat women across the lifespan, ages 18 to 55. I kind of fell into the perinatal mental health space, and I love it. I love helping women. And some first, I'm sorry, for those of you who don't know like what nurse practitioners are or what they do. Um, so they're nurses and they have an advanced degree, hence the master's degree, and they prescribe medicine. So similar role of a psychiatrist essentially.
Mm.
Um, and in my practice, again, I treat mental health disorders and serve women. I'm currently taking a course on integrative psychiatry, so I'm very interested in like the holistic aspect of wellness. I think that there's many different ways to treat people. It's not a one size fits all. So I definitely like take pride in how I treat patients, which is on an individualized basis, based on what their needs are, what their situation is, what their comfort level is. And I also provide supportive psychotherapy as well. I launched my telemedicine practice, behavioral wellness for women, in February of this year. It's completely remote right now, but definitely we'll have some in person spaces in the very near future. Um, and I also mentioned to you that I forgot I'm a certified self love coach, which is actually new.
They
Um,
say that again?
a certified self love coach.
Certified self love coach. Okay. So if we're hurt, oh my goodness, we in for a treat tonight, ladies. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so
Mm.
my coaching business is called Woman Rise Self Love Coaching. And before I forget to say these things, my Instagram handle for my private practice, Behavioral Wellness for Women, is at Behavioral Wellness for Women. My Instagram handle for my self love coaching page is underscore woman underscore rise.
So wait, you're breaking up a little bit. What's your
Oh,
Instagram again? At
yes.
behavioral.
Yeah, so for my private practice, it's at Behavioral Wellness for Women. And then for my coaching page, it's at underscore woman underscore rise. And I'm also on TikTok, underscore woman underscore rise.
Mm, awesome.
Yeah, and so those are the ways that you can contact me. I am
That's what.
offering free consultations for my coaching, free 40-minute consultations to kind of help you with your transformation into like getting the life you want, whatever that looks like. And in my program, I focus on like self love, self forgiveness, acceptance, and then like limiting beliefs that are kind of blocking you from getting to that life that you want. And we kind of like plan out what your goal, the steps will be to reach your goals.
Okay, so you just dropped so much on us, right? But I'm gonna start with self forgiveness because self forgiveness, I believe, is the healing to a lot of the things that we deal with. And please, if you agree with me, y'all, please type a yes in this chat because I believe that when we're holding on to so much anger, resentment, animosity, when we're holding on to that, we're wondering why we're aching, we have these pains, and we're nauseous, we're sick, we have these migraines, we're unable to sleep. I believe that when we hold on to this, whether it's forgiveness for ourselves or forgiveness for others, I think that hurt is it's internal, but I really think it starts to break us down. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I see that a lot and studying people and and just getting to hearing conversations with women and I often hear that something from my past and I always say, you know, in order for us to move forward, yeah, we're moving forward. We're living our day to day lives, but are we really moving forward because we have certain things that are hindering us because of the hurt from our past? So
Right.
many women sometimes I talk to are hurting because of the relationships they never had with their mother or the toxic relationship they had with their mother. So I just want to
Woo!
reset
That's
the
a
room.
deep one.
That's
You
that
just
is
jumped in. Yeah,
it really
it's
is.
real.
It is so real. And when I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna just reset this room. So we're talking here with Brianna Dawson, ladies, beautiful spirit, lovely lady here, who is she's just phenomenal in all that she do. She wear the many hats right here. Seriously, she really do. But Brianna here is she has a master's in psychiatric nursing, psychiatric mental health, nursing field. She does a lot of perinatal, right?
Yes.
Perinatal care for women. We're our discussion tonight. We I had to name it. Where our topic is anxiety and depression, but I named it Debbie Downer. And why did I name it Debbie Downer? Because I couldn't name
Um,
it. I had
I was like, I was thinking like, I was like, oh, that might like, but I was like, let me let her do her thing.
I named it Debbie Downer because I think that at some point in time, those who suffer with anxiety and depression become that person. They become her.
Yeah.
And whether we're aware of it or not, Debbie Downer, what do we know Debbie Downer as to be? She's that person that's very negative, very pessimistic. Just everything is just flipped upside down and nothing seems to be positive for her, or she can never see
Yep.
any
Yep.
positive. And in all honesty, I was a downer. Like I was Darnice the downer when I went through my uh anxiety, when I suffered with depression, and it may not have been the pessimistic side of me that was being shown, but I know that at one point, I know I was suffering with anxiety. But the depression, even though they kind of go hand in hand, um, sometimes when you're dealing with depression, it's hard for you to be optimistic. It's hard for you to see the good in anything. So um, I do want to just kind of shed light on what anxiety and what depression is to you and how would you express it? How would you explain it with a patient coming into your office who may be feeling low, who may be feeling stagnant, who may be agitated, who may be, just unsure herself as to why she's feeling that way? How would you even explain that to someone?
Yeah, so usually I start by kind of like asking the person, what brings them in, and they, give me a little rundown. Obviously, it varies from person to person, but I tend to ask them in terms of anxiety, like, are you feeling like irritable? Are you feeling on edge? Are your muscles feeling tense? Do you tend to worry like more often than not, like more days of the week or like half the days of the week? I try to kind of get an idea of like how often they're experiencing those symptoms, and how much of each day it's taking up. Another thing I ask in terms of depression is like, are you feeling down? Are you feeling hopeless? Are you crying a lot? Do you have any feelings of guilt or regret that are like weighing you down? Um, Things like that. Um, yeah.
Those are symptoms that sometimes people can misconstrue and feel as if maybe I'm overworked, maybe I'm just tired. And although depression causes you to feel that tiredness. A lot of times, as women, we go, go, go. We're overworked, we're exhausted. But there are some underlying issues, as you mentioned, yes, the agitation, feeling on edge, the muscle tension, and, depending on what type of work you do, or, you could be a mother, grandmother, and dealing with kids on an ongoing basis and start to feel that. But I think what really shows that that depression is there is, as you said, the crying spells, sleepless nights, and just that constant edge of worrying about a particular thing or some things. Um,
Yeah, and some people even like oversleep, or they're like, all I want to do is sleep. Like, I don't want to wake up. They have like a lack of motivation.
mhm.
They don't want to eat, like have a poor appetite, or they're overeating. Um,
I want to just acknowledge the ladies that are here. We have Beatrice Smith. We have Narda. Hi, Narda. Oh my goodness, Narda Joe. Hi, Narda Valley. Um,
oh, hi. That's my best friend's mom.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this evening. We here again on Sister Circle Social Show is welcoming Brianna Dawson. We're talking about anxiety and depression, which is so real. It's so prevalent. Where it doesn't have it doesn't just affect women, doesn't just affect men, it doesn't affect just people in different nationalities. It affects all of us, men, women, doesn't matter what your income is, doesn't matter what your education level is, it affects all of us. Am I right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. It can be a very scary thing because if left untreated, it can become almost deadly because some people with severe depression become suicidal.
Right, exactly.
I thank God I never don't have a piece of wood to knock on, but I've never personally felt that. But I remember many, many years ago working in it was a prenatal clinic down at 8th in Spruce, women's health, and I was just a registrar, a patient registrar, checking patients out, checking women in and out, and became so close to one of the younger ladies there. She was 17 and on her second delivery, was still living at home with her mother, but her mother had passed. Baby father, the baby that she was carrying was not, baby's father was not in their life. So much depression, so much depression. And she wasn't being treated for the depression at all.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
every time she would come check out, and every time it was time for me to schedule another appointment with her, she would boo hoo cry. And I mean, at 17, here you are with two kids. You're still pretty much a child yourself. And now you're dealing with these emotions, that come with pregnancy. You're dealing with depression, all of these hormonal imbalances you're dealing with. You know, I look at her and I think about at that time, at that time, I was reflecting on being a young mom at the age of 18 and 19. By the time I had my first child when I was 18, by the time I was 19, I had three kids. So it was like having and raising triplets. And I look back on a picture and I was so tempted to take a picture and actually upload this picture just to show how severely depressed I was. And I looked horrible. I really looked horrible. But at such a young age, I'm trying to manage parenting to these young babies, dealing with my undealt with emotions, dealing with a baby father, dealing with so much. I had no answers. I had no answers.
Yeah, and I think some women, they don't even realize that they're depressed or anxious because it's like, oh, you're a new mom. Some people are being told this is normal, or this is what you deal with when you have children, or oh, you'll get used to it in this X amount of time. But really, it's not normal, and I don't think that we should normalize, feeling anxious or depressed or like overworked or overwhelmed. Like, we should hone in on that and figure out how we can treat it and make it better. And I don't think that a lot of people know that there's treatment out there for people who are pregnant and postpartum and breastfeeding.
I think the big thing is advocating for ourselves and, speaking up and saying, hey, I know there's a problem. That's only if they recognize themselves that it is a problem. But for those who don't recognize that there is a problem, I think that my daughter texted me today and said, my goodness, she said to me, Mom, there need to be therapists in the schools. She's a nurse, and she made mention of, the need for nurses being in a school. I mean, not nurses, for therapists being in a school. And I was like, yes, there should be. There should be, but there isn't. And the reason why I guess she thought that was because if we can catch certain things at a younger age, better educate these children, these young adults, then the better the chances are for them to be able to seek the help that's needed.
Right.
I'm gonna shift gears just a tad bit. Hi, Nia. Hello, Nia. I'm gonna just shift gears just a tad bit because I want to. Hi, Tanisha. Hello, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna shift gears a tad bit. We want to talk about this anxiety in women, the anxiety and depression. I can really take this into. We talked about perinatal, but how about the menopausal anxiety? It's
Right.
so much that anxiety has so many different is it levels, I want to say, or maybe so many different types of disorders of anxiety, like social anxiety.
Right.
um,
Some
we
people have panic attacks.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like, ladies, is there if you have any questions that you'd love for us to ask Brianna while we, are talking with her on this evening, please drop a comment in the chat here, and I will definitely ask um, to try to get you some answers because I know I've been a person who suffered with anxiety. I was actually on medication. And I'm not talking about when I was pregnant way back when. I'm talking about maybe a few years ago. A few years ago, I was on medication because I had this worry. It was a constant worry. It wasn't just like one particular thing. And being a person that I am and trying to always educate myself as well as others, I started researching ways that I could um, treat my anxiety instead of having to take medication. Because
Mhm.
the minute you go into the doctor's office, you could be going in for elbow pain, and the first thing they say is you're depressed.
Mhm.
And it's like they want to treat you with this pill and with that pill. And I know you made mention of holistic therapies. Um, I was reaching, I was searching, I was really trying because what was happening was when I decided to take this medication for anxiety, I started to lose weight. I lost my appetite.
Mm.
I lost my appetite and I started to lose weight. And as small as I am, I was like, oh no, I'd rather deal with the depression. I don't want to lose weight. Call me crazy, call me what you want. But I was like, I'll deal with it, but I'm not going to lose weight. But no, long story short, I took myself off the medication for many reasons. And I started practicing certain things, and I'll share what those certain things are. But I want to give you an opportunity to share with us ways maybe holistically a woman can deal with anxiety.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to briefly touch on the fact that there's like a lot of stigma around like taking medication when people are experiencing like mental health symptoms like anxiety and depression. And yeah, I just want to say that I usually tell my clients that like if you have diabetes or you have cancer, things like that, like you don't think twice about getting treated for those, and that to think about like mental health in a similar way, because medications can be very, very helpful. I have seen it change people's lives. So I just want to say that piece. And at the same time, there's some clients who are like, I'm not taking medicine. And so I'm not going to turn them away, right? I'm going to figure out how I can best support them where they're at. So yeah, in terms of like holistic remedies, the first thing is like, are you eating a healthy diet? What are you eating? Like, are you eating foods are you eating fast food all the time? Like, are you eating fruits and vegetables? Like, those are things that are very important that give you vital energy. If you're eating, like, I'll say soul sucking foods that are going to make you feel tired and fatigued, then you're going to feel dragged. You're going to feel more down. You're not going to have a lot of energy, and may interfere with your sleep, things like that. Are you getting adequate sleep, or are you getting like 4 hours a night? Those are things that impact mood and anxiety. in a
Mm.
negative way. Um,
Miss Smith on here, Beatrice Smith says she was taking meds for anxiety and was all day. What do you mean, Beatrice, that it was all day? You was taking medication all day or you was feeling the anxiety all day? I know when you mentioned what are we eating, like what are your eating habits? I know at one time when I was dealing with this anxiety, of course, I was dealing with some issues going on at home. But another thing that played a factor was I love sweet tea. And that caffeine in that sweet tea had me going, going, going. So that was one of the factors that played. Oh, she said she would sleep all day. You
Yeah, so yeah, so I hear patients say things like that sometimes, and or they have like a family member who they're like, oh, they were sleeping all day, and so they're afraid to start medication. They're like, am I going to be able to function during my day? Am I going to be able to go to work and take care of my children, etc. And what I say is like, for me, the way I treat, you should not be knocked out. You should be able to function. If your medication is impacting your ability to function in your daily activities, then we need to make an adjustment, whether that means switching the medication to nighttime or lowering the dose or switching to an alternate medication. So the way I practice, you will not be you won't be sleeping or sedated throughout the day. Like something that I prioritize is quality of life, and that's very important, right? So we're treating your symptom, which is impacting your quality of life. You don't want to make your quality of life worse by you not being able to be alert and awake.
you can drop the mic right there on that, Brianna, because that is so true. Quality of life. Because how good am I? I may be No, I'm not gonna deal with the depression or the anxiety because Imma be asleep, so there won't be none. I'll just be
Right.
sleeping the whole day away. So, yes, Beatrice, that medication needed to be switched, and I'm sure at that point in time, you probably was like, "I'm not gonna take this medication."
Right, exactly, and that's what happens. And that, yep, yeah.
Well, Beatrice, she is offering, and I'm sorry, Brianna, you said 40-minute free 40-minute
So
consultation?
I just want to clarify. So the 40-minute free consultations are for the coaching calls.
Okay.
Specifically. For my private practice, I offer a free 15-minute consultation to kind of see if I'll be able to meet your needs and we'll be a good fit for each other.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Okay, yes, follow Brianna at Behavioral Wellness for Women. She says she stopped
Yeah.
taking it. Yeah, depression is real, and depression can be brought on for many different reasons, from us dealing with childcare, from us dealing with finances, marriages. So many different things in life can bring upon that depression. So holistically, we look at things and say, I mean, me right now, thank God that I'm not dealing with either. But if I was, I think I would take the more holistic approach at this point,
Yeah.
and just knowing that, and for those of you who are watching this, if medication is needed, don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to take it. Take it because it's real. Does depression look different in men versus women? Ooh, Dr. Bailey says, does depression look different in men versus women?
That's a good question. So I think it certainly can. I think it can look different in men versus women. It can look different between different women. Um, for me, I've seen clients tend to have mood symptoms based on what's going on in their lives. So that tends to be a major key there in what's how it presents. For example, if someone's maybe they're overwhelmed and stressed at work, so maybe they come home and they're just like irritable, raging at their spouse. For a male, it could mean coming home from work and checking out and just playing video games all night, right?
Mm.
So yes, it can certainly manifest different in different people based on what their coping mechanisms are, right?
Well, speaking of that, yeah, with Beatrice says she learned to redirect it with prayer and focus on good things. Yes, that's a great remedy, and those are I like to say I'll share um, some of the ways that help me cope and deal with my anxiety. But with our thoughts and the way that we perceive things, sometimes we feel like we got to be in control of everything. And I know that's what my issue was. I felt like if I didn't do it, it wouldn't be right. Or if I didn't handle it, it would fall apart. So I felt the need to control it. And not that I was a control freak, but just feeling like I know that I would feel so much more comfortable if,
Mhm.
I did it. But I had to learn to, trust in, God and trust in, the individual I was allowing to help me. Um, you made mention of men playing the video games. I had a cousin who was so highly stressed, and I always would say he's such a good person because he just work and come home and just play the video game. But no, I guess he literally was depressed. I never thought about that.
Yeah, 'cause it's like avoiding, like you just go to work and then you come home, you're not engaging with your family, maybe you're not eating, you're just like zoning out, right? And that could be done with different things. Like maybe you'll binge watch a TV show on Netflix, but it's just like a way to distract or detach from what's really going on.
Well, I thought that could be a good thing. I'm not one to really binge on TV shows, but I have a time or two or a few times. But I think that kind of like takes you out of your own element and puts you somewhere else and just kind of take your mind off of things.
Yeah, let me clarify. I binge watch shows on Netflix. So I'm not saying if you binge watch shows on Netflix that you're, depressed or something's wrong with you. But so I think when it would become potentially an issue is like, are we doing this every night of the week? And we're just like not addressing our problems because we just want to zone out and not feel anything.
Right,
So
right.
everything is, in
Moderation.
moderation, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. I would agree. Yeah. Oh, this is
I love
something.
binging a good Netflix show.
You know what? It's kind of hard for me because of things that I'm really trying to do. But every now and again I will catch something. So yeah, it's really good. I do have here a scripture that I wanted to kind of share with everyone's Philippians 4, 6, and 7. I'm a strong, strong believer. And one of the things, not one of the things, but yeah, one of the things that I kind of like to say I created for myself to do was it was like it's like a mindset shift. And in the midst of me shifting my mind, it was me focusing on the word, applying the scripture to my life. And at times I would feel this racing, this uncontrollable fast racing. I would have to quote scriptures to help me. And it was redirecting my thoughts and taking the focus off of me handling it and allowing God to handle it. So, ladies, that is one of the things that we have to do. Hello, Miss Denise Washington.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
Just
Um,
speaking of that, something that I found, really helpful in working with, my behavioral health clients and working in the coaching space is like words of affirmation or like writing out positive affirmation. Um, that's been very helpful to kind of like shift your mindset, and then make you feel like more positive, and then we'll shift into like a place of gratitude. Like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have a car that I can drive to work. I'm so grateful that I have gas in my tank. I'm so grateful I have this job because it pays my bills. Um,
yeah.
Things like that.
Nia is asking, do you see children, adolescent, teens in your practice?
That's a wonderful question. I do not. I see adults starting at 18 years old. So
Yep.
young adults could be in college.
Did you say 18 to 50?
18 to 55. Yes.
Oh, 55. So I made it. Okay.
Ah,
So, ladies, I'm telling you,
mhm.
there's nothing wrong with talk therapy, ladies. I'm telling you, at the age that we are, we don't know it all. We don't know it all. We don't have the answers for everything. And dealing with life in and of itself, I'm telling you, it can weigh you down. Whether it's business, whether it's the home life, whether it's just certain things. And as we spoken earlier going into this conversation, forgiveness. I'm telling you, ladies, if there's someone, and I'm gonna tell you this, I journal, right? And I believe in therapy. I believe in talk therapy, but sometimes some people don't want to do that. And if you're one that don't want to do that talk therapy in your journal. Act as if that journal, and I don't have one with me, but act as if that journal, yes, I do. Take your journal, get your journal, give her a name,
Oh, I love that. You got this.
such and such. I don't care. Give her a name. It's about getting real with yourself. So if you don't feel comfortable going into someone else's doctor office, you don't feel comfortable telling someone else your story, You get your book, your journal, get your pen, dear Dr. Such and Such, or you can write a letter to yourself. But one of the things I may recommend too is to write a letter to forgive whomever you are holding some grudge against, because that will relieve you of so much. I'm telling you, I had to do it. I had to do it. And it really is part of a healing process. Nia says, oh, wait, Denise says, can she extend the age?
Yeah. It depends. Hit me up. So, one way that you can reach me is on www.behavioralwellnessforwomen.com, and there's a contact me page, and
www what?
www.behavioralwellnessforwomen.com. Something I wanted to kind of mention about the therapy thing. Yeah, there's definitely some clients that I have that aren't comfortable. You know, they might see me for medication management and they don't feel comfortable seeing a therapist. Um, and what I tell them is it's kind of like dating. You have to kind of, some people you might not mesh with, or you might not have a good jive with, or you might not feel comfortable talking to. Just go to the next one. And it's kind of annoying, just like dating. But hopefully eventually you'll get to that one person that you can develop a good connection with and feel comfortable talking to.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's one of the reasons why I do a clarity call for picking someone up as a client. Nia says, if I know someone who is depressed or anxious, how can I help? Nia, oh my goodness, that is an
Yes,
awesome
thank
question.
you, love. Yeah, so if you know someone who's depressed or anxious, how can you help? You can help by asking them what they need, right? Some people, they might want to talk, or some people might want to be left alone, right? Some people might want you to go grab a coffee with them or go for a walk with them, or some people might want you to come to their house and sit and just be there because they just want company. So I think a good practice is to ask people what they need. Um, and if they're not, sometimes they're not able to tell you what they need.
Mhm.
So in that case, I would say if someone's a danger to themselves or others, definitely, getting them to the nearest crisis center or emergency room, definitely calling 911. But if it's not to that point, I would say giving them, hey, I see this therapist. They're really helpful for me. Like, why don't you, send them an email and maybe you can connect with them. In terms of like anxiety, sometimes people just need a talking ear to listen to. So I think like using those simple things like spending quality time, having a listening ear, things like that.
One of the things that, excuse me, one of the things that I wrote down, as you just said, that some people want to be left alone. But I think what's very important for us women is that we have a support system. And that support system doesn't necessarily have to be 5 to 10 people. It could just be that one sister that you can count on, and being available for them. But I know that everyone is busy today. Everyone is doing multiple different things.
Yep.
But if you know someone that you're very close to, even if it's someone that you're not, but you know they tend to go through certain issues such as anxiety and depression, just reaching out, shooting them a text message saying, hey, just thinking about you. How many times have you received a text message? And maybe just recently, one of my sisters here on that is a subscriber here on this YouTube channel reached out to me, and she reached out and was like, hey, sis, you were in my thoughts. And the crazy thing was, I was okay. But that particular day, and the reason why she probably hadn't heard from me in a minute was just be my busyness. But that particular day, I'm actually dealing with some wrist issues and arm pain and numbness. But that particular day, I was in severe pain. And I try my best not to complain. And I was holding it in and I was really going through. And when I received that text message, I just texted her back, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All is well. And the reason why I didn't go into details because I'm being mindful of the words that I speak. And that's something too, at times we're depressed, it is okay. One of the things that I do, if I'm feeling some sort of way is I'm a cry. I consider myself a crybaby, and I am okay with that. I'll cry. I did a YouTube video at one time, and I was like, I need you to do something for me. I was asking my subscribers, my girls here, I need you to cry because it's like a cleansing. It's releasing some of the emotions that you have bottled up inside of you. So ladies, drop in the chat some of the things that you may do when you're feeling overwhelmed or when you're feeling depressed. Sometimes I know it's not easy to recognize or even acknowledge, yes, I'm depressed, but it's real, ladies. Depression is real.
Yeah, and then like when you don't allow yourself to kind of have that release, it just builds up, and then it will then turn into anger oftentimes,
Mm,
or feeling on edge, feeling irritable.
yes, anger. And that can go into a whole nother subject, but anger, that is one of the ways that people, I guess, they think that they deal with that they're dealing with issues. It's
Yeah.
not dealing with issues. Um, does anyone have, oh, Nia said dance. Nia, wait, oh my goodness, she said dance. That is something that makes you feel
Oh,
really, yes. Aunt said, I take a long drive to Virginia. Ooh, yes, yes. Driving frees your mind. Dancing.
something I did once, like I think I saw something on like TikTok about it, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'll probably like feel weird, but whatever. I just like turned on some music and I just like dance, like crazy dance, though, just like to get like whatever I was feeling out of my system, and it
Mhm.
felt so good afterwards.
Yeah, it does. And I know one of the things, and this can go probably either way, depending on the type of music that you listen to and depending on the mood that you're in. But listening to music to me makes me feel good. So, of course, if you're listening to the spiritual, then yes, you're going to feel good, most times. But if you're listening to that R&B, sometimes that could be a love music and make someone feel, a certain kind of way. But listening to music to me makes me feel good. Nia said, what made you open up your own practice to help women? It is important to have a Black female practitioner. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, so what made me open up my own practice is I kind of wanted to be able to reach more people and provide people, quality services that are extended, like extended appointment times. Oftentimes in like large organizations, appointment times are like shorter, it's kind of rushed. You're kind of limited on what your offerings can be. For example, maybe you can't offer more like holistic nutraceutical options, so I wanted to have the flexibility to be able to like provide clients with whatever services I wanted to give them, and as long as I wanted to do it. So we can have, instead of like a 10-15 minute quick, you know, are you experiencing any side effects from your meds? No, okay, let me send you a refill. Like let's take a 30-minute full to kind of figure out what's going on, how's your week been, just allow them to kind of like settle in and it's not rush, and we can get everything covered.
Okay, so I'm not going to keep you long, but just have one or two other questions for you. I promote and I'm always sharing and asking women to develop a self-care regimen. What does self-care look like for you?
Yeah. So that's a wonderful question. Self-care to me is like bare bones basics, right? So it's getting quality sleep, getting enough sleep, going to bed on time so that I'm not waking up tired and like irritable. And then it's from there getting up at a reasonable time, like not getting up like 5 minutes before I have to leave or like waiting till the last second, because then that disrupts my whole entire day because I'm rushing, I'm anxious, I'm like trying to, yeah, I'm not able to eat. So it's like preparing meals for the week. So I'm not eating fast food. So I'm feeling properly nourished. It's like literally brushing my teeth and flossing my teeth at night because I tend to get tired. I'm just like, I'll just like whatever, I'll just do it in the morning. But when I like take the time to like wash my face, brush my teeth, like really enjoy like those self-care things, listening to some soothing music, lighting a candle, doing that at night, like I just feel better before I go to sleep. And then I feel better in the morning too.
I can see how that helps because that's like immersing in the moment. And a lot of times we look at Or a lot of times when I'm talking to others, I try to have them stop reflecting on the past, because sometimes reflecting on the past can bring upon depression. And then if you're reflecting so much, if you're, thinking so much about ahead and what is to come, you'll get anxious about it. So kind of be present in a moment, and let's just enjoy this particular moment. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about any little thing, as you said, flossing, maybe doing singing a tune as you're flossing, doing something to make you feel good, it's maintenance. That's
Right.
maintenance. Yeah.
Basics in it, but it's like so important, I've realized. Um,
Yeah.
like even like eating, like forgetting to eat. You're so busy during the day, you're forgetting to eat. So you're just like grabbing like some cookies or something. So like packing a lunch and bringing it to work, like things like that are so important. And I find that like when I, make sure to do those things, I feel a lot better in my day to day. And then from then on, everything else tends to go a lot better.
Listen, ladies, mental maintenance is what we have to do. Mental maintenance. When you leave here tonight, develop a regimen for yourself, something that you could do for yourself. Sometimes we can't take that quick, that long hot bath. Sometimes it's just a quick shower before we can
Mhm.
get into bed, But, you know, one of the things I found useful is I created a, I created a YouTube video which was like inspirational affirmations for finances. But what I did was I did this affirmation in my voice and added some soft tones to the background. And I plug in at night. I do that every now and again when I'm feeling some sort of way. So it has become very helpful to me. And sometimes I laugh at the way that my voice sounds, but guess what I'm doing? I'm making myself laugh, which is good, but I'm listening to those affirmations and it's making me feel good. So that's something you can take away and try to do for yourself. Um, just one last question for you, Brianna. Did you ever find yourself at a point in time in your life where you felt like you were hit the hardest? Like something hit you so much, like hard, so hard, devastating, that you may have felt knocked you over or knocked you down, and you felt like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. How am I going to shake this off? Did you? I'm sure you have, because we all have. But at that moment, what did you do for yourself? Did you prepare yourself? Did you help get yourself out, or did you have to reach out for some sort of help? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because I want people to know that it's okay to reach out for help. Do not be afraid. It's okay.
Yeah, so one thing I did was I was like, it's just gonna be one day at a time because I can't even like see Pat. Like I don't know if I just need to get through today, right? So I just took one day at a time. And yes, I did seek help. I sought therapy, and I saw a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So it's totally okay to take medicine. Like it's not something that I think should be taboo anymore in this day and age. And also, I made sure that I like rallied all like my close friends and just like kept in touch with them, made plans to hang out with them. So I wasn't just like at home laying around like being sad. So I needed to get out of my typical environment, right, and surround myself by people that loved me and cared about me.
That is important. So sometimes when we're going through, whether we're depressed or we're just having this moment, we often want to, isolate ourselves. And sometimes I guess that's okay. But when it's ongoing, you really do have to push yourself and make yourself get out of that bed, get out of the four walls, get beyond those four walls and reach out to the Sister Circle Social Show. No, but you have to reach out to others, stay connected with those that are positive and not the Debbie Downers. Kind of exclude yourself, kind of remove yourself from women or people who are constantly down and that are not affirming you, not lifting you up. So, those are really good points to take away, ladies, because any given time that depression can be knocking on your door. Any given time you can be hit with that anxiety. And as I stated in one of the posts that I made, people use this term, oh, it hit different. Oh, this hit different. Yeah, it hit different. And they talking about many different things. But guess what? When anxiety come knocking at your door, when depression come knocking at your door, it's going to hit different and it can hit hard. It can be something that may be able to roll off your back, but it can be something so devastating. And I've watched people go through. And whereas on the outside looking in, we're looking like, oh girl, just snap out of it, just shake it off, or take a shot, take a drink, or go shopping. Those are those moments that just relieve you for that moment. And we're talking about, as you said, it is okay to take medication if it's needed, and reaching out for help. Do not be afraid to reach out for help. Or dance, as Dr. Bailey said, or sing, or take that long ride to Virginia. Do things that will help uplift you, ladies. That's why I created this platform, so we can connect and we can share those different things that will help us get out of that funk, get up off the floor of defeat. You know, we're not going to always be functioning on this high level here. Things happen day to day, week to week, month to month. Things happen at times. Some things are out of our control. And I'm going to tell you, when that anxiety was laying on me, I would be up till 2 in the morning, then turn around, get back up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't that one that slept all day. I have a relative who suffered with depression for a very long time, and all they did was just sleep, sleep, sleep. And I wasn't that person, but yet not getting any sleep, I was functioning off of fumes. Then I found that, okay, I'm gonna take something to help me sleep. And then I take something to help me sleep. And then I found throughout the course of the day, now I'm dragging and I'm tired. That was a up and down type roller coaster.
Yeah, and it's so important to find the right provider, right? If there's like a provider that they're telling you something and it doesn't sit well with you, you're feeling uneasy, or they're not, it doesn't sound like they're listening to you, you can always find another provider, right? That's what you would do in any situation. So I think applying that to mental health as well, just finding the right fit.
And we have a Facebook user saying that's me. Um, Yeah, I'm not sure who you are, Facebook user. I do apologize. Drop your name in the chat, but that is an emotional roller coaster. And one thing they said, can't sleep and work through it. Yeah, that's tough.
Mm.
That's tough. But one of the things I want to clarify here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brianna, is that we have psychologists. Carol, hi, Carol. Hi, girlfriend. Yeah, she works a lot. She works a lot. She's a praise dancer as well. So that miming and that praising, that should just whoo. But yet life happens. But I want to clarify that going to go see someone to talk about your depression or your anxiety doesn't necessarily mean you'll be given medication, because you have psychologists, you have therapists, you have psychologists, you have a psychiatrist. Did I say that right? You have a psychologist who don't prescribe medication. And then you also have the psychiatrist who will prescribe medication. And am I right? That's right, Brianna, right?
Yeah.
So there's levels to this, So if you find it,
100% clarify that. And I want to say that, like, I have had clients who have come to me and I'm like, I don't really think you need medicine, right?
Mhm.
And some want to go on medication, some don't. And also, I can still continue to see you even if you're not on medicine. Like, you don't have to be on medication for you to follow up with a psychiatric nurse practitioner or psychiatrist.
did y'all hear that? She said you do not have to be on medication to follow up with her. So come on, y'all. I need y'all to follow Brianna. I need y'all to follow her. She posts some very inspirational, makes some very inspirational posts. Follow her on Instagram, y'all. And this lovely lady here have a few things going on. I will drop her information. Yes, amen, amen. I will drop her information in um, the chat here. Well, not in the chat. I'll actually link it to my YouTube channel. So for those people who come behind us and catch the replay, catch this, after the fact, they'll be able to connect with you. Brianna, are there any words that you like to leave with these lovely ladies on here? Listen, ladies, I always say this. I'm so sorry, Brianna. I always say this. We can dress all this up. We can make all of this look good. I'm telling y'all, ladies, there are women out here going to go get butt implants. They are going, is it butt implants or what is it? BBLs, but whatever it is, they're
Oh,
trying to be, they're inflating the behinds, okay? They're inflating their behinds. I want you to pour more into yourself mentally, okay? That's where I'm at. I don't care about I don't care about nothing else. I'm not in that sense. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to dress up. I love to put on something good, love to look good and smell good and do all of that. But what good is that if this up here is not right? If this heart is not right? If I'm anxious all the time? If I'm just sitting here and I'm bawling, crying for no apparent reason? So, ladies, Brianna's going to just share some takeaway words with us, some words of encouragement, if you can, Brianna, and also just confirming where the ladies can find you at.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to clarify. My website is www.behavioral, so behavior AL, wellnessforwomen.com.
I type that too fast.
And yeah, I just want to say, I know I talked about, my self-care routine, being pretty basic, like things that you're like, oh, well, don't you do that already? Like I do that already. But I think like in this busy day and age, we tend to neglect those things over time. And I think that's where everything starts. So like what you're eating, when you're like, are you getting enough sleep? Are you taking care of your skin? Are you putting lotion on? Like, are you washing your face at night? Are you flossing your teeth? Are you just like, I'll just forget it? Like, those things are so important. And I think when we pay attention to those small details, like, am I doing my hair? Things like that, then you start to feel better more confident about yourself. And it just like launches your day into like a more positive experience. So, like, if you take care of yourself if you take care of yourself, then you ultimately will have a better day and a better experience. And I also want to say mindset, and how you talk about yourself, like you had mentioned, the words you say with your wrists, the way that you speak can also have a very big impact on your reality. So for example, I'm always depressed or I'm always down, like changing that to say, I I'm hopeful that I will heal from this, or I'm healing from depression, or I'm growing. I'm in my healing journey. Those are the things I want to do.
Yes. And ladies, if you're doing your affirmations, make sure that they're in the present tense, and speaking those, words out. Words are powerful, we speak all the time. And I was in a salon earlier today and a lady came in and she was like, "Oh my God, my back is killing me." Mm. Well, we've all used that term before, but I will no longer say it again. And then she also made mention, like she shared something that she was going through. The lady wasn't there to support her. She was like, "It just drives me crazy. It just drives me," and everything was such a negative. And I don't even think she realized what she was saying. So be mindful of the words that you speak. And I'm always leaving y'all with that because I believe words have power. And if we're on this journey of healing, it doesn't just start by taking medication. It start with the words that we speak out of our mouths. So, Brianna Dawson, thank you so much for joining us here on the Sister Circle Social Show. Ladies on each platform, I love y'all, ladies. Listen, I hope and pray that y'all all stay connected. And I believe it's Philippians 4 and 13, but maybe I'm wrong. I wrote it down for y'all, but nope, I said 4 and 13. 4, Philippians 4, 6, and 7. Be anxious for nothing, but through all things, prayer and supplication. Take it all to God. I leave y'all on that note in hopes that that scripture can be of some comfort to you. So, ladies, on tonight, I sure hope and pray that you find your joy, that you find your peace. And if you're suffering with any type of anxiety, any type of depression, don't go at it alone. Don't go at it alone. Reach out to Brianna Dawson. I'm sure she may, if she's unable to help you, I'm sure she may be able to point you in the right direction. And although we didn't talk much about that menopausal type of anxiety, menopausal type of depression, that is real on a whole nother level. It's real.
Yeah, and I'd say like the symptoms are pretty much the same, except for you have the added hormonal component, the physical symptoms, obviously.
Yes, yes. Well, ladies, thank you so much. I hope and pray that everyone have a good evening. Brianna, thank you so much. I will be in connection with you still, even after this evening. And ladies, if no one else have any other questions, we are going to end this session of Sister Circle Social Show. And we thank you so much, Brianna. If there's anything that Walking Them Shoes can do, if there's anything that I can do, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for giving me the platform to kind of share, a little bit about what I do.
Yes. Hold on, I think someone said, "Oh, they waving a hand." Yes, 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 yes. Waving hands, clapping hands. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, they're saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you have a good night, Brianna. Thank you so much.
Take care.
All
Bye.
right.